Hello my dear students, today we will read next chapter, chapter 15. The name of the chapter is data handling. So first of all we will come to know that what is data handling. Data handling is process of collecting, recording and presenting information in a way that is helpful to others using graphs and charts. You must have learned this chapter in your previous class and you have solved some questions. Now, once more we have some questions related to bar graphs and pictographs. Means as I told you, it is the process of collecting, recording and presenting data in such a way that it is helpful to others. Okay, so we represent the data, collected data in two ways, and these two ways are pictographs or bar graphs. Here we have to discuss pictographs and bar graphs. So it is very simple to understand when we say pictograph and when we say bar graph. When the data is represented in the form of pictures, or the representation of data using picture symbols is called pictograph, and representation of data using bars, that is rectangles, having equal width and equal spacing between them, called bar graphs. And it is very easy to read a bar graph and understand what information is given by the bar graph, and to answer the certain questions which is related to the given bar graph. And that is the part of interpretation of bar graph. If any bar graph or any pictograph given to you, you can read it and you can understand it easily and you can answer to some questions. With the help of these graphs, we will be able to do the comparisons. Okay, so here I am first given that pictograph. So use of picture symbols when we represent data with the help of picture symbols, that is called pictograph. For example, suppose we have to show on the graph that is the production of the cars in the year basis, that is suppose 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. So what was the production of car in those 4 years we have to represent. So surely you know that there are 1,000 or more than 1,000 cars may be produced in a year. So if we have to represent this, we draw the symbol of a car. Why? Because we are going to represent the data in the picture form. So it represents, it tells that the graph has drawn about a car. We also write about it that, and then we write a scale. So we actually write a small picture of a car may be equal to 100, may be equal to 500, according to our convenience we choose it. Okay, so and here it is given one of the example of your book. All of you open your book and read it along with me to understand in better way. So the first question is written here, example number first. Following is the number of women using cosmetics in a city in different years. So years written here 2007, 2008, 2009 and 2010. A number of women using cosmetic in a city. So in 2007 5,000, 2008 7,000, 2009 8,000 and 2010 10,000. So it is telling draw a pictograph to represent the above data, and see as it is written, let one picture of women represents 1,000 women. That's why I told if we have to represent, then we take this kind of a scale that where we can represent the big number of data on a small piece of paper. And then very simple it is. One side in one column year written and another column is written number of women using cosmetic in a city, as you are seeing on your book page number 170. So 2007 the number of women that those use cosmetics, here 5,000, so 5 picture of women shown. In 2008 7,000, so it is shown 7 pictures. In 2008 8,000, then 8 pictures shown, and 2010 10,000, then 10 pictures had shown. Then example 2, in a class of 25 children, absentees in a particular week were shown by a pictograph given below. So the first question is related to representation of data, means you have to draw the pictograph, and the second question is that you have to read the pictograph and you have to answer. So this type of questions may come to you. In one type of question, some information is given, some data given, and on behalf of that you have to draw the pictograph. And on the other type of questions, you may get the pictograph directly and you have to answer some questions related to that pictograph. Similarly, you will get bar graph. Sometimes it comes how to draw the bar graph, and sometimes the questions based on bar graph already given, and then you have to answer those questions. So now we will discuss about bar graphs. Bar graphs are also very convenient way to represent the data in the form of bars or rectangles. Okay, so to draw the bar graph we have to take care of certain things. The 3 things are that we can say main points on which we have to be focused are: the first point, the width of the bars should be uniform throughout. Suppose we are drawing 4 or 5 bars, so every bars have the same width. The second question is that the gap between the bars should be uniform. Yes, if we have one bar, then here another bar, then here another bar, then the gap between bars should be also same. And bars may be either horizontal or vertical. If we have horizontal bars, then we say horizontal bar graph. If we have vertical bars, then we say vertical bar graph. Just look at here to understand. Suppose we are going to represent the number of students in different classes here. So here we write number of students like this. Number of students. So here suppose 10, not 10, generally 20, 40, 60 and then 80. Now if class 3 students, here I am writing class 3, class 4, class 5. So number of students in class 3 are 50. Then you see this is 50, this is 65, 25, 45, 50, it is 30. So we draw like this. One rectangular bar. In class 4, suppose there are 60 students. Then we draw another rectangular bar. Now the rule is that the width, this one is equal to this one. The width of the bars must be equal, and spacing between bars. See this bar, another one I am drawing. Suppose there are 40 students in class 5. then we draw like this. Then again the spacing of bars are equal and the width of bars are also equal. So this type of representation is called vertical bar graph. This type of bar graph is called vertical bar graph. Okay. Since the bars are vertical and this axis is called x-axis and this axis is called y-axis. So we take two axes to draw the bar graphs. On the other hand, if we have to draw the graph horizontal one, then we take this number of students on x-axis and the classes on the y-axis. Right here, it is y-axis, it is x-axis. Here we write number of students, number of students. So I am writing here 40 and 20, 40, 60 and 80. Then okay. Now here I am writing class 3, 4, 5. So you can write here class. Means on y-axis we are representing class and on x-axis we are representing number of students. So suppose class 3 at class 3 had 50 students, so 50 will be here. So we represent like this. This is representing number of students of class 3rd. This bar. Another bar, number of students in class 4 are 60. So we can represent like this. Here also the width of the bars are same and the spacing between the bars are also same. And then 40 in class 5. So we represent like this. As I am drawing out, so try to understand. Now see the spacing between the bars. Spacing between the bars are same and the width of the bars are also same. And this type of representation is called horizontal bar graph. Horizontal bar graph. So I hope you understood about the pictograph with the examples that I read with you, and here the two types of bar graphs, that is vertical bar graph and horizontal bar graph. Now we will do questions of exercise 15.1. I have also discussed you about the reading and interpretation of bar graph or pictograph. If we have, then we can easily read and answer the questions given on the basis of the pictograph or bar graph. So here I am going to make you understand questions of exercise 15.1. All of you open your book and see exercise 15.1. Exercise 15.1. It is written here, the first question I am reading. In a class, data collected for the most popular subjects among the students is shown in the following bar graph. Read the bar graph carefully and answer the questions that follow. So as you are seeing, on the vertical axis it is the number of students, on the horizontal axis it is the subjects, and the different subjects are here: mathematics, English, science, geography and history. And now we have 4 questions given. On behalf of this paragraph, we have to answer these 4 questions. So the first question is, which subject is most popular among the students? So you see, the subjects liked by the students: history liked by 25 students, geography 35, science 40, English 45 and mathematics 55. So you can surely say that mathematics is most popular among the students. So the answer of first one is mathematics, and this answer you have given on behalf of the bar graph shown. Mathematics. Which subject is liked by the most students? So mathematics. As you are saying, 55 students like mathematics. Now, which subject is least popular among the students? So you can write history is least popular among the students because only 25 students like history. So second answer will be history is liked by list of number of students, or history is less popular among the students. Third question is, how many students like science? As on the top of the bar of science it is 40, so you can answer easily. Third number, 40 students like science. 40 students like science. And the fourth question is, what is the difference between the number of students liking mathematics and history? So see the bar graph again. The number of students who likes mathematics shown 55 and the number of students who like history shown 25. So when you subtract 25 from 55, you will get the number of students who like more in mathematics than history is 30. So for fourth question, we write 55 minus 25 is equal to 30. So this 30 is the difference, required difference we have. Now second question also related to the bar graph given, and some questions asked. I hope you can easily answer this question when you read the bar graph. Third question also on bar graph. So only 3 questions here. So let me make you understand. The second question is here: in a school, data collected for various games played by the students are shown in bar graph given below. The bar graph number of students written on the vertical line and games written on the horizontal line. As you are seeing, the first game is football, second is cricket, third is badminton, fourth is table tennis and fifth is athletics. So these are the games and the number of students who played these games: athletics 12, table tennis 15, badminton 18, cricket 25 and football 30. Now we have questions that read the bar graph carefully and answer the following questions. The first question is, how many students play football? It is very simple to answer from the given bar. You see on the top of the bar of the football, it is written 30. So you can write 30 students play football. Second question is, how many students play athletics? Very easy. The last game is athletics shown on the bar graph, and it is shown that 12 students play athletics. So 12 students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athletics. So 12 students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athletics. So 12 students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athletics. So 12 students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athletics. So 12 students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athletics. So you can write 12 athletics students play athleti play athletics. How many students play cricket? So on the bar of cricket it is 25 meters, so you can easily write 25 students play cricket. And the last question, which game is played by the most of the students? So the game in which more number of students or maximum number of students are, that will be the most played game. And from the bar it is clear that football is the game which is played by most of the students. So your answer will be football. So this is all about question 1 and 2. One question I am leaving on you. Question number 3. That question you will do by your own. So thank you students for today's class. Bye bye.